Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us at the Gather, Learn, Heal, and Become series. It's sponsored by Sanctuary of Earth and the Richmond, Central Virginia Ions Community Group. So thank you for joining us, and especially those of you who are first timers here. So today we'll be talking about the basics of EFT tapping, and I'm going to turn it over to Victoria here in a few minutes. But just a reminder, if you feel so moved to make a donation to support our program, we very much appreciate any amount. So the way we're going to go today is I will start us off and end us off. And we'll start with a channeled message and a little bit of energy medicine. And if you feel so moved to be open to receive that, go ahead. If not, just set the intention to not receive. That's totally fine. Nobody's going to call you out or ask you to explain. And then we'll turn it over to Victoria for her presentation. And then we'll end it with another channeled message, and we will give away a free 30-minute reading with me. And if you would like to be on the Sanctuary of Earth email list for classes and other Gather events, please, and you're not on the list, please put your email in the chat. We send really one flyer per month. And coming up, we have clairaudience, and also I'll be teaching the yin energy medicine that I'll share with you. And Victoria's class will come up when sometime in the near future. And if she has an update on that, I'll invite her to share that. So, but in the meantime, I'm going to do a quick channeled message for all of us. Let me stop sharing. Let's see. If you don't want to receive the channeled, yes, that's right. Okay, thank you, Erin. Yeah, so I'm just going to do some energy medicine. It'll be about 2 or 3 minutes. It's called Yin. It's similar to Reiki, and if you don't want to receive it, just set the intention not to receive it. If you'd like to receive it, you can set the intention to receive. So it's all good. Okay, so if you'd like to receive, or if you prefer to just meditate, then close your eyes and just relax, and I'll let you know when it's done. Okay. Right. I hope you all were, those of you who wanted to receive that energy, I hope that felt helpful. I'm just feeling a lot of grief and a sense of feeling challenged. This is a very challenging time for so many of us, and a lot of energies are changing and shifting rapidly. So I think the message is about this. So let me just see. Yeah. So beloveds, it's a very hard time right now. Some of you may be feeling and sensing it, feeling like things are stuck and very slow to move or moving in the wrong direction. But please understand that when it's time to turn the ship, it means that things have to stop. And then we start to go in a different direction that may feel off course. And it's because it is, but it's actually about correcting course rather than going off course. So this can be hard to remember in the moment when life feels so challenging and confusing. Just remember to breathe, breathe deeply, feel into your body, find your breath, find your heart, what your heart most longs to do, and let your heart and your gut be your guides. It's time to move into a deeper part of our bodies to find our way again. Okay, so thank you for allowing me to share that. And I am going to turn it over to Victoria to talk about EFT tapping. Thank you, Victoria. So looking forward to your teaching today.
Yes, and thank you for having me. Am I able to screen share my PowerPoint now? Is that all right?
Yeah, yep, you should have ability to share.
It says I cannot start screen sharing while collaborating on a whiteboard. So I need to just stop that. Let's try this.
I'm afraid that's me. I don't know how to do this.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
All righty. Give me 1 second to get all set up. All right, can everybody see the PowerPoint all right? Thumbs up. Awesome. Well, my name is Victoria Vines, and we are going to be talking about emotional freedom techniques today. It's usually called EFT or tapping. You'll see why in a second. I'm Victoria Vines, a holistic health practitioner, EFT practitioner, and trainer. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, and I've been doing EFT since the beginning of 2018. So I'm excited to share a little bit about this modality with you today. So we are going to start off actually with a demonstration. So in a second, what I'm going to have you do is take a breath, a deep breath, and I just want you to notice how deep your breath goes. For the purpose of this example, a 0 is going to be a very shallow breath, kind of like an acute asthma attack. We really should be calling 911. And 10 is the deepest, most fullest breath you could possibly be taking, all right? So just go ahead and take a deep breath and notice how deep your breath goes. And since there's not a whole lot of us, I'm going to go around and I want you to actually say your number out loud if you're comfortable sharing. So yeah, who wants to go first? What was your number?
6.
6. Awesome.
I think mine was like a 7.5 or an 8.
Awesome. Love that specificity. Anybody else?
Mine was around 8.
Okay, great. Anybody else?
7.
7. And then did you have any like descripting words on how your breath did feel? If it didn't feel like a 10, did it feel tight? Did it feel strained? Anybody have any specific words for that?
I felt towards the 7/8 there's a resistance.
Resistance. Love it.
To say block.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Anybody else?
I had to flip like into like kind of like diaphragm breathing because usually my breath has been so shallow, like it's about 2, like
Mm-hmm.
panic rabbit breathing.
Mm-hmm. And what was your number for this?
I was the 6.
A 6? Great. Awesome. Alrighty, so we're going to use the term constricted breathing and all of those words that y'all said just to denote resistance, any block in the breath, any constriction in the breathing. It's going to feel a little bit repetitive the way we are doing the tapping today because we're going to do a very basic form of the EFT, but I'm doing it on purpose to show you the power of this modality at a very basic level. So if it feels repetitive, that's okay. We'll get more complicated probably for our last demonstration, and then if you continue and do the class that I offer later. But for now, it's gonna be a little bit repetitive, but I'll try to change it up as much as I can. All right. Awesome. And so what we're gonna do now is in a moment, I'm going to lead us in some tapping. And for this tapping, you want to use 2 fingers, okay? And we're going to tap on different points of our body. So I'm going to be tapping on my body, and I want you to tap everywhere on your body that I'm tapping on my body. So you'll have the visual. I'll move the screen if necessary. And then I'm also going to be saying words out loud. I'm going to have y'all mute, but I still want you to say the words out loud after me, okay? Perfect. So we're going to start on this side of the hand point, and I'll get into more specifics on what we're doing in a minute, but this is just to introduce you to the technique. So go ahead and tap on the side of the hand point.
Victoria, do you want to stop sharing your screen so we could see you more fully? That might help.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. So go ahead and tap on the side of the hand point and say, even though I have this constricted breathing, I deeply love and completely accept myself. Perfect. Top of the head, this constricted breathing. All this constriction in my breathing. This resistance to taking a full deep breath. This tightness in my lungs. This tightness in my muscles. All this constriction in my breathing. This block to a full deep breath. Whatever is preventing me from taking a full deep breath, I just want to let it go now. All this constriction in my breathing, this block to a full deep breath, whatever's preventing me from taking a full deep yoga breath. All this constriction in my breathing, I just want to take a deep breath. Whatever is preventing my lungs from breathing deeper, I want to let that go now. All this constriction in my breathing, this block to taking a full deep breath, all this constriction in my breathing, in my lungs, this tightness in my muscles. I choose to let any tightness and stress go now. Perfect. Alrighty, so that was our first round of tapping. Before I go back to the screen share, I want you to take another deep breath. And this time I want you to just notice if your number changed at all. Okay, so take another deep breath. And now let's go around with the numbers again. Did anybody's number change?
It did.
Yeah?
But I was feeling like it wouldn't while I was tapping. So I thought it was making me nervous. And so, yeah, it was weird. Yeah, wild.
Yep. I was fully convinced it wouldn't work the first time I did it too.
Wow.
All right, anybody else want to share their number?
I would say mine went up to 9 from 8.
Excellent.
Mine is 2. Mine went up from a 7.5 to an 8 to a 9.
Great, awesome. Anyone else? Did your number at least go up?
I went from 7 to 8.
Nice.
I would say it's about the same.
About the same? That's all right. All right. Anybody else want to share just their experience before we get back to the PowerPoint? All righty. Well, we can get back then.
Oh, good.
All right. Can y'all see it again? Excellent.
Nice.
All right. So EFT, like I said, stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques. Some people leave off the S on techniques, but there are more than one. We're going to be talking about and practicing the basic recipe today, but there's more techniques. I'll get into those if you take the class later on in the fall. Also known as tapping, obviously, because we're tapping on the different points of our body. So EFT is a fast and gentle way of discharging emotional distress, traumatic memories, and negative thoughts. So just now we did it for a very physical thing, right? We were doing it on the breathing. Traditionally, it's used on more emotional things, but it's very versatile. For our next demonstration, we will do an emotional form of this technique. So EFT also works on many physical problems. Gary Craig said it often works when nothing else does.
Yeah, please do.
EFT is basically an emotional form of acupressure or acupuncture, although without the needles, thank goodness. We are leveraging the meridians of the body to affect a change. And then on more of a brain level, tapping communicates with the amygdala, which is the fear center in the brain, the kind of volume knob on our stress handle as well, telling our brain that it's okay to relax. So tapping is really helpful when you're stressed, when there's anything really involving stress, because it's accessing a part of our brain that's actually nonverbal. We are using the words to tune our brain into what the issue is, but that's why we need the physical thing of the tapping, is because that part of our brain doesn't register with spoken word alone. Alrighty, any questions on this page before I keep going? Alrighty, perfect. So all those tapping points, what were they? Basically, all of the points that we were tapping on our body correspond to one or more energy meridian of the body. Most of the points are the origins of those meridians. Others of the point are just where a lot of them intersect. But by tapping through all of them, we're hitting all the major organs of the body. Wherever that stuck energy is in the body, we're telling the body to process it, and it really just helps move things along. And like I said, we use 2 fingers and hit each point around 7 to 8 times. Could be 5 times, just kind of whatever the words are, however long it's feeling good. It doesn't have to be exact, but enough to get a little energy going. And then the best way to use EFT, in my opinion, is to actually focus on what is bothering us or what we want to tap away. So when we do the emotional form of this modality, we're focusing on the negative. And that's not because we want to attract the negative. That's not because I want to be a Debbie Downer. You can think of EFT as an eraser, okay? We are telling the body, hey, this is what we don't want, and we want to let it go and release it. For example, if you have a house, a dirty house, or maybe a partially dirty house, and you just want to only focus on the positive, only focus on the clean areas of the house. It's like, that's not going to clean your house. In order to clean the house, you need to scrub the dirt, you need to sweep the floors, and then what happens? Your house is clean. So we're really just making room for the positive. And then when we do the emotional forms, I do try to circle back around to the positive. But if you've done EFT tapping before, some people only focus on the positive, or some people maybe don't focus on the negative enough. There's a lot of different ways to do EFT, really. But for the purpose of today, if you take my class, I would just challenge you to try doing it the way I do it. If you don't like it, that's fine. But this, in my opinion, is one of the most effective ways of using this technique. Alrighty, any other questions?
How often would you suggest you use tapping? I mean, I assume you can use it if you're feeling ungrounded or whatever, or not calm, but do you recommend a regular practice?
Yeah, so for like long-term issues, Gary Craig suggested at least 2 to 3 times a day for 5 minutes. Um, if it's a big issue, you might want to work with a practitioner, once a week, once every other week. Um, but you can really just use it as much or as little as you want, really, whenever you're not feeling grounded. You can't really use it too much. So whenever you're not feeling the way you don't want to feel, I would say you could just start tapping. But yeah, if you want like a number, I would say 3 times a day for 5 minutes to really nip that in the bud. And then you probably wouldn't need to do that forever, your whole life, but just to get that under control. Any other questions?
Just kind of a quick question. So all of a sudden I felt really sleepy, so that's why I had to turn off my video.
Oh,
I had
interesting.
to
Okay.
yawn. So I was wondering if that's kind of a release or just like a side effect.
Yes. Yawning means you're shifting something. It's releasing something. So I actually encourage my clients, don't stifle your yawn. If you yawn again, you can stay on camera. Please feel free to do that. Now, I might yawn because I see you yawn, but the yawning is definitely a good thing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Any other questions?
Um, how I couldn't quite see when you're doing your wrist. It's sort of like you're rubbing, or you tapping with 2 fingers. So
Mhm. I tend to actually use my whole hand when I'm doing the wrist points. All you really need is the 2 fingers.
okay.
But yeah, I recommend tapping them. I think probably rubbing them would still work,
Oh
but
no! Yeah, I'm going to ask for private consults. I'll have bruises all over me because I'll be tapping all day long because I need that much calming down.
oh, yeah, then definitely do whatever you need to do to kind of just stimulate those points. Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? All right, perfect. Oh, it looks like somebody drew on it. Was that me? Oh well. All right, so what did we just do? That was called, like I said, the basic recipe. This is the most general kind of tapping that you're usually going to see. And here are the steps. I'll break those down a little bit, and then I'll give you another demonstration. First thing you want to do is state the problem. Kind of like setting an intention. If you're working with another person, you want to tell them, hey, like, what's the dirt? Like, what are we looking to shift and release and resolve for you? Usually, another good thing to do is figure out your top emotion or top few emotions about that issue, so we can have very specific, is it grief, is it stress, is it anger? And the next thing we do is measure the SUD level. So kind of like how I asked y'all about how deep your breath was going at that first breath, you want to figure out the intensity on what that emotion is that you're feeling. So SUD level, it just stands for subjective units of discomfort or distress, usually discomfort for a physical thing and distress for an emotional thing. You don't have to obsess over that number if, if it's a rough estimation, that's fine. And the SUD level, it goes from a 0 to a 10, usually with 10 being the most intense that you could possibly be feeling, the anger, the stress, the whatever it is. And 0 is important because oftentimes we can fully get things resolved for you. So it's not a 1 to 10 scale, it's a 0 to 10 scale. And usually the goal is to get down when it's something that you're not wanting to be feeling. Alrighty. Had another thought. and it left me, so I might come back. And then the number 3 thing to do is what we did there on the setup statement, on the side of the hand point, the setup statement. And I will just go ahead and tell you there's a lot of different ways you can do the setup statement. There's a lot of different variations. You can do it more than one time. You can do it changing up the words, but at the very basic level, you want to say, even though I have this blank, I deeply love and completely accept myself. So even though I have this grief, I deeply love and completely accept myself. And then there's a lot of different reasons we do the setup statement. I'll get into those in my class, but that's really all you need to know to be able to jump in is you want to do the setup statement on the side of the hand point and balance the negative with a positive, even though I have this confusion. I deeply love and completely accept myself. And then after that, we're going to tap through the points. So all of those points that we tapped through and focus on the problem. So talk about the problem. If you're working with somebody, they'll, lead you to probably say whatever you said at the beginning for the stating the problem thing. We're keeping the brain focused on what the problem is. And then after that, we remeasure the SUD level. So did the tapping that we worked on, did that do anything? Did your number go down? Is it to a 0? Did it go up? Just kind of what happened. If it's not down to a 0 yet, go back to the beginning, see if there's anything different that came up for you, and go through the process again. Alrighty, any questions on the basic recipe? Alrighty, so EFT, like I said, works on a wide variety of problems, emotional, physical, and mental. You can use EFT on limiting beliefs. You can use EFT on affirmations. You can try EFT on back pain, fear of public speaking, hay fever, missing car keys, insomnia. You can read, so you can read through all of those. But basically, if you're experiencing something or feeling something that you don't want to be feeling, just give it a try. I used it one time on the hiccups, and my hiccups went away. All you're risking is a little bit of time. If you're out in public, you might risk looking a little crazy, but you can do it in the privacy of your own home. And you might be surprised on all the things that EFT can help. In my opinion, EFT is one of the most versatile energy healing modalities. You can tap away almost anything that you don't want to be feeling, thinking, or experiencing. So if I click this, will it take that thing away? Okay, cool. I probably did that. Oops. So any questions on this slide before we keep going? Alrighty, if anybody has a question at any time, just feel free to let me know.
So Victoria, is it more about like alleviating issues, or does it also help, just being, with helping with your growth, for example?
Both. I think when you are alleviating issues, you are helping with your growth, but you don't have to be in a really bad place in order for it to help you. So for example, let's say I wanted to be more patient. Somebody working with me might say like, well, why are you not patient? What goes through your head when you are feeling impatient? And there's probably something behind why I'm not feeling impatient. Oh my gosh, there was this one memory where so-and-so happened, or, well, my dad was never patient. I was never shown patience growing up. And so there might be some negative things to work on. But, like I said, there's a lot of forms of EFT. You can tap on more the positive, and it does help. But oftentimes what happens is when you're tapping on the positive, the negative comes up on like showing you what you need to work on. I'm sure you can just tap on, hey, I want to be more patient, and that might help. But why are you not being patient in the first place is usually kind of where the root of that issue would be. So did that answer your question? Awesome. Any other questions? Alrighty, so there have been lots of studies that have been done on the efficacy of EFT. You're welcome to, research them, uh, look them up on your own, but I really like this one. So in this graph, Peta Stapleton did a study and she compared EFT to CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, in relation to food cravings, symptoms of anxiety, and symptoms of depression. So the participants went through an 8-week program and then were monitored for 12 months after that. While the cognitive behavioral therapy group did have an initial decline in the food cravings and anxiety, similar to the EFT group, the symptoms of anxiety came roaring back in the 12, before the end of the 12 months. So similarly, the CBT group had, or not similarly, the cognitive behavioral group had no change in depression symptoms. So you can see that up there. But in contrast, the EFT group reported steady declines in all 3 areas. And at the 12-month mark, the positive results remained. So I think that that's awesome. It's great that both people got an initial decline, but did the cognitive behavioral therapy really get to the root cause if all of the symptoms came back? And then there were no change in the symptoms of depression for the cognitive behavioral therapy. So I think that just shows the power of sometimes having a more physical modality rather than just the mental. We're getting to different parts of the brain. We're shifting things in a different way. And then the studies can just speak for themselves. So any questions on that?
Victoria, how is that set up? Were they tapping all along or are they just tapping at the beginning?
Oh no, I'm sure they were tapping. If you go to her Instagram, I think I got this chart off of her Instagram. She might talk about exactly how she did it, but it looks to me like, I think this indicates maybe they were just being observed. So they were probably doing both of the techniques at least until the 8-month mark. Don't quote me on that. That's a great question, and I can get back to you if you want. But I imagine they were doing the EFT for the whole 8 months as well as the cognitive behavioral therapy the whole 8 months. And like I said, she has a lot more. There was another chart that I was thinking about putting on here that showed like the body markers, the changes in what happened to the body before and after the tapping. So obviously like the stress levels went down some, depression went down some, all these things went either down or up depending on what they were, but the immune markers went up like 115% after doing EFT. So that really to me shows the power of like down regulating, the autonomic nervous system, getting your system back to the rest and relax and digest so that it can function better. Like over 100% change in the immune markers after doing tapping. That's just mind-boggling to me. So, alrighty, any other questions?
That's amazing.
Yeah. Alrighty, so next up is our second demonstration. So for this demonstration, I would love to do the tapping on an emotional issue. Probably something with an intensity level of 6 or 7. So basically, not the worst thing that has ever happened to you. That could be for a private session, but I want everybody in here to stay comfortable. I want to get you feeling better. Some issues just take longer to work on. So does somebody have, grief, anger, stress, just something else that's bothering them that you're willing to talk about in front of the group, at least a little bit?
Hi, this is Kay.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay. I'm a hiker and I hike with different people, all different kinds of people, some with very different political views. And I was having a discussion with one hiker, and we disagreed about something political. And about a week or so after, there was another hiker who was a friend of this first hiker that I had a disagreement with. And in the discussion I was having with her, she brought up something that I had said to this first hiker, trying to dispute some of the things that I had said without my having brought that up to her. And it really was, it took me aback. I felt, I don't know, I felt a sense of betrayal,
Mm.
kind of like I got ambushed
Mm-hmm.
for something I had said to someone else.
Yeah. Okay.
Was that a good example? Or do I?
1 second. I might not always take this as an example because politics with a lot of people around can be tricky, but because you didn't say any specifics, we can try it on this. We can just focus on those feelings,
Yes.
if that works for you.
Yes.
Yeah, I typically don't take the the political ones, but
I
let's focus on
understand
the
that.
feelings.
That's why I was saying it made me feel betrayed. And
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Alrighty. Yeah, so on a 0 to 10 scale, with 10 being the most betrayed you could possibly have felt, what's your intensity level right now for what the hiker brought up?
6 or 7.
Okay, great. And do you feel anything else kind of nasty or negative about that encounter right now?
I feel that the first hiker could have just uh, had more of a conversation with me rather than going to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost felt like the first hiker gave the second hiker ammunition so that she could, I don't know, best me or something.
Mm-hmm. So would you say you're like mad at the first hiker?
I'm mad at the first hiker.
Okay. And how intense is that anger?
That's about a 7.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Anything else that you want to say about that encounter before we start?
I've been working on
You've been
it.
working on it. Fair enough.
Meditating about it.
Okay.
And I feel better about it certainly than I did.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see if we
But
can get you feeling even better. I think this is my last question, but do you feel that betrayal or that anger anywhere in your body?
kind of, I think, in my solar plexus area.
Alrighty, lovely. So I'm going to lead you through some tapping, okay? So same thing like we did at the beginning. I want you to say the words after me. This time you can leave yourself unmuted so I can hear when you're done.
Okay.
This is all for you though. So if you don't like my words or if you want to change the words to be more accurate to how you feel, just go ahead and change them as you're saying them. You don't have to say what I said.
Okay.
And then if your brain is going down a bunny trail that I'm not aware of, feel free to stop the show, let me know. But I will do my best to lead you through this and we can see how you feel in a second. And everybody else, if you don't mind, go ahead and tap with us and say Kay's words out loud as well. We're going to all focus on helping her, but leave yourself muted, or if you just want to mouth them, or if you just want to tap. But I would highly recommend you at least tap as we're doing this. All right, so go ahead and start on that side of the hand, point K, and say, even though I feel betrayed
Even though I feel betrayed
by the first hiker,
by the first hiker,
I still deeply love and completely accept myself.
I still deeply love and completely accept myself.
And even though I have this anger towards them,
Even though I have this anger towards them,
I'd like to get to a calm and peaceful place.
I'd like to get to a calm and peaceful place.
Perfect. This sense of betrayal
This sense of betrayal
and this anger towards the first hiker
and this anger toward the first hiker
We could have just had a conversation
We could have just had a conversation
and figured it out between the two of us.
and figured it out between the two of us.
But that first hiker went and told the second hiker.
But that first hiker went and told the second hiker,
I have every right to be angry about that.
and I have every right to be angry about that.
I'm not sure I want to be angry though.
I'm not sure I want to be angry about this anymore,
Even though I have every right to be angry.
even though I have every right to be angry.
And I have this betrayal.
And I have this betrayal.
I felt ambushed
I felt like I'd been ambushed
for something I had said to somebody else.
for something I had said to somebody else.
It doesn't feel good.
It doesn't feel good at all.
And I'm open to feeling better.
And I'm open to feeling better.
All this anger at that first hiker,
All this anger at that first hiker,
the sense of betrayal,
the sense of betrayal,
and just this mad feeling that I have in my solar plexus.
just this mad feeling that I have in my solar plexus.
I wonder if I can let it go.
I wonder if I can let that go.
Wonder if I could feel better.
Wonder if I could feel better.
I wonder if I can just get more grounded.
Wonder if I could just get more grounded.
Not because I don't care,
Not because I don't care,
and not because it wasn't wrong of her or
and
him,
not because it wasn't wrong of him,
but because I deserve to feel at peace.
but because I deserve to feel at peace.
And because I didn't do anything wrong.
And because I didn't do anything wrong.
This is a free country for crying out loud.
This is a free country for crying out loud.
I can think and feel whatever I want about politics.
I can think and feel whatever I want about politics or anything else.
And I'm kind of proud of myself.
And I'm kind of proud of myself.
I could have handled this a lot worse.
I could have handled this a whole lot worse.
But I even want to let it go.
I even want to let this go.
And I love myself for that.
And I love myself.
Awesome. Go ahead and take a second. Maybe take a breath. And whenever you're ready, just think about again what happened. Tune into that betrayal and that anger. Your number was 6 to a 7. Has it shifted at all?
It has shifted. I think the tapping, the deep breath, the saying the words out loud helped this a lot.
Awesome.
A lot.
I'm so glad. Where would you say the intensity on the betrayal is now?
I think it's about a 4.
Okay. Excellent.
Maybe even a 3. I think it might be edging toward a 3.
Love it. Love it. Sometimes there is a little percolation time, so that's great. And then what about the anger, that madness feeling towards the first hiker? Did that one change at all?
That one is a 1.
Ooh, 7 down to a 1. Look at you. So
Yeah.
pat on the back.
Yes, indeed. I could tap myself on the back. Yes.
Love it. Haven't heard that one before. Alrighty. Sanna, do we have another minute or two to see if I can
Thank
get
you.
that level anymore? Yeah? Or do we need to just finish up with questions?
Yeah, you could take 5 more minutes.
Okay, just real quick. Tuning into that betrayal, you said it was a 3, which is awesome. Any idea why it's still a 3 and not a 0, though?
I think even though I'm not angry at the first hiker, I feel a little betrayal by the second hiker.
Okay, so maybe more towards the second hiker. And if you could say anything to the second hiker, tell me what you would tell them, what you would say to them.
I
They're
would
not here.
say, hey, remember that conversation we had about blah, 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 and you may have noticed that I was a little reticent to talk about it. And that's because I was trying to figure out where you had heard that information. And then I think perhaps you heard it from this one person. And I felt a little bit like I had been ambushed, and I was just a little disappointed because I thought that you and I had a better relationship. And I think that we're going to be able to work through this just fine. But I had to tell you this because we are in a relationship, and I want to come on.
Awesome. Can we do a little bit more tapping on that then?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing. Alrighty, one more time on the side of the hand point. Even though I have this remaining betrayal,
Even though I have this remaining betrayal,
I still deeply love and completely accept myself.
I still deeply love and completely accept myself.
Perfect. Top of the head. If I could see that hiker again,
I could see that hiker again.
I would say, hey, do you remember this conversation that we had?
I'd say, hey, do you remember this conversation that we had?
I was a little reticent to talk about it
I was a little reticent to talk about it
because I really felt ambushed
because I really felt ambushed
and I felt disappointed.
and I felt disappointed.
I thought we had a conversation, thought we could have a
I
conversation,
thought we had a conversation and a relationship.
but maybe it turns out that we don't.
Maybe it turns out that
And I'm a little disappointed about that.
I'm a little disappointed
All this betrayal
about all this betrayal.
makes sense that I feel sad about this.
It makes sense that I feel sad about this.
Try to be a really good friend.
Try to be a really good friend.
And it's a little disappointing when other people aren't good friends back to me.
And it's a little disappointing when other people aren't good friends back.
This sense of betrayal,
It's a betrayal.
I wish I could have worked it out with the hiker.
I wish I could have worked it out.
But whether we get it figured out or not in the future,
But whether we get it figured out or not in the future,
I'm open to feeling better.
I am open to feeling better.
I'm open to letting this sense of betrayal go.
I'm willing to let this betrayal go.
And I'd like to get to a calm and peaceful place.
And I'd like to get to a peaceful place.
Because I bet if that conversation comes up,
Because I bet if that conversation comes up,
a calm and peaceful place is the best place to be for it.
and a peaceful place is the best place to be.
Awesome. Go ahead and stop. Take a deep breath. And tune back into that sense of betrayal. Any shift from that awesome 3 yet?
I'm about at a 1.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. I am.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. And, we could have kept going, so see what other, things were behind maybe the 1, but thank you so much for letting us do that with UK. I appreciate it. And hopefully everybody kind of saw into what we can do with EFT and enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Any final thoughts or questions today?
Well, that was great, Victoria. Thank you so much. I think
Yeah, you're welcome.
everybody got something out of it and not only learned what the potential is for EFT tapping, but also got to ground in and feel better together. And thanks, Kay, for sharing your example. It's very brave. It's always brave to share what's troubling. So in the last few minutes, I just wanted to briefly go over what's coming up in Sanctuary of Earth. So we haven't set the date for the next gather session. It'll either be the first or probably the third Sunday in August, since we're kind of narrowing in on it. But we do have our next class is Claire Empathy starting September 21st. That's a Sunday at 7 p.m. It's 7 p.m. Sundays for 6 weeks. And this is all about developing your empathy skill into a deeper, more intuitive gift. And it's very hands-on and practical. So most people just learn so much. And here's some of the things they've said about these classes. I'll be teaching yin energy medicine on September 6th and 7th. So if you already have Reiki if you're already a Reiki practitioner, or if you know somebody who is, I'm teaching this form of energy medicine, which I channel from my spirit guides. And Victoria, do you have a time frame? Remind me what your time frame is for maybe teaching the EFT tapping class.
I was thinking October, but I'm happy to get suggestions.
Okay. Are any of you all think you're interested in taking the tapping class with Victoria? And if so, does October work for you all? You can put it in the chat if you'd like. And if you would like a self-paced class, you can do that both. It'd be even better. You could get started if you don't want to wait till October and have a deeper resource. This is a class developed by Lisa Nichols, who introduced me to Victoria, and it's on our platform at healingedu.org. It's another nonprofit I have. And just remember that you can register at sanctuaryoferarth.org. And if you're willing to give a donation, I put the direct donate link in the chat as well. And if you would like to be on our email list and you're not already, please make sure to stick your email in the chat. We just email one email per month. So it's pretty manageable, and we don't we don't sell email lists. Okay, so I think that's it, aside from the free session with me. So I offer a free 30-minute reading / energy session. So Victoria, can you pick a number between 1 and 5, please?
3.
Okay, so Erin, you are the winner of the reading. So I have your, I'll just stick my my email address in the chat. And you can email me for a free 30-minute reading if you would like. And if anybody else wants a reading, you can, oops, I misspelled my name. And everybody else, if you'd like to have a reading as well, let me know. I'm also taking, I think I have some slots open for my TV show, where I give away a free 30-minute reading for my new TV show. So you can also email me if you wish to participate in that or another reading. Okay, are there any thoughts or comments before we break for the day?
I have a question for Victoria. I put it in the chat. I am interested in taking the EFT class. Are you thinking of doing it like a weekend thing, or is it like a series of class on certain nights?
So I was thinking to just do Thursdays at 6 o'clock or whatever for a number of weeks. I need to think about like what material I want to cover in terms of how many weeks. To do
Okay.
kind of a shortened version, I have a larger course where you can actually get certified to be an EFT practitioner. But just in case people don't want to do that, which is more expensive and whatnot, I was thinking to shorten it and do, probably an hour and a half to 2 hours for 2 to 4 weeks was what I was thinking.
Okay. Do you have a website you can put in the chat? I'll take
Yes.
a look. Yeah.
Yeah, and Victoria, maybe put your contact information as well.
Sure.
So if people want to email you. Yeah, great, Ellie. That'd be great to have you in class.
Thank you. Yeah, I think this is I'm finding more clients who need EFT, and I feel like I should learn some basic to it so that I can talk intelligently, suggesting it to them intelligently. So thank you.
Yeah, we could all use more of it. Thank you for a wonderful session, Victoria, and thank you everybody for joining. Hope to see you at a future gather session or in class. Take care, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
you all.
Thanks.